All right, welcome to Cosmic Channels. The Cosmic Channels are now open. Please call 1-833-703-0424. That's 1-833-703-0424. Tonight we're taking calls about all thoughts and theories. You name it, we'll talk about it, except for the Wayfair conspiracy, because we talked about that last week, so let's try and leave that out tonight. Anyways, Cosmic Channels are now open. Let's bring the guys in.
Yo, I'm Braden.
I'm Zell.
I'm Dan.
And I'm Andrew.
Oh shit, Cosmic Channels.
You got any cryptid sightings, UFO encounters, you've seen a UFO, you got a unique perspective on a conspiracy, or you just want to shoot the shit with us on a conspiracy, call 1-833-703-0424. We're taking all calls except for the Wayfair. If you call, Zell's gonna probably smash the phone.
I'll probably hang up on you.
Probably hang up.
Only because we talked about it last week. And there's nothing more to say. Nothing else has come up. It came, it went. That was
And
what
if
it
you
was.
listen to it, like, you know how we feel about it. We think it's stupid.
Yeah, right. I'm not saying there's not some weird shit going on like that, the Epstein stuff and all that. Yeah, 100%. But the Wayfair, come on. I can't see it. I just don't see it. Not for us.
Logistically, anyway.
It's such a, yeah, I mean, whatever.
Anyways, so there you go. There you have it.
I don't know. It'll probably end up being like one of those things. I was watching a video about about flat earthers today.
Fun.
And that is such a fascinating, I find it so absolutely fascinating that you have flat earthers as people who can think for themselves and critical thinking skills, that they're there. And you get stuff like this, like flat earth. But you also, on the other side of the scale, you have people who are, you got like Michelangelo's and Leonardo da Vinci's. It's just the huge gap between those. There's something, what happened? There's potential there.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with questioning stuff and
Somebody
like,
want to explain that to me?
And thinking about stuff, but as soon as you go full bore on anything, you usually get lost.
Now, is flat Earth still a thing, or has David Weiss found something else to make money off of now?
I mean, the mainstream or media in general has kind of fallen off the topic of flat Earth for good reason. And I know there was that flat Earth conference last year that it didn't happen. And I don't know if, well, this year there's obviously not going to be one because of the whole situation. So I don't know. I don't know what the situation in the flat Earth. I'm fine with talking about flat Earth. If you believe flat Earth, call us. Let's talk about it. That's all good.
Yeah. Tell us the secret.
I had that.
Tell us who's lying. Tell us who's lying.
I met the guy. We talked about flat Earth one time, and I met that. We had him live on the show, and then I seen him at one of my gigs. And after the gig, he told me I wasn't ready to hear the truth still. And I was like, I'm ready, man. Fucking let's hear it. He's like, you're not ready. You ain't ready to hear the truth. And I went, okay, I guess that's fine. If you don't want to tell me, I'll be here anytime. Fun.
It just doesn't make. I still, to this day, when people are like, when they're trying to explain their really close 3,000 kilometer sun, their little spotlight sun, I'm like, but then wouldn't I, sitting here, if it was flat where I'm sitting, would I not see it like go like a flashlight?
No.
No.
Why? I don't know.
I don't know.
You can't measure the power of the sun. Like solar power, you can measure like the power of the sun per square meter, and you can kind of like extrapolate how much power the sun's putting off. But it doesn't make sense if there's a spotlight sun and it's directly above. It would be way more powerful in one location and much less powerful in other locations. Just take the United States for like, but the whole west coast of the United States in summertime is going to be pounded by like that energy almost equally. But in flat Earth,
To be honest, I would be more inclined to believe that I am in some sort of Truman style show, encased in a large dome, than to believe flat Earth.
Yeah.
Well, there's a dome above the flat Earth. That's the
firmament.
Yeah.
But what's it made of?
Firmament.
What's holding it up?
Have we seen the ice wall yet? Have we got any pictures of it? Have we have any evidence of the ice wall? Has that happened?
Andrew,
yet?
you can't go to the ice wall.
Can't go to the ice wall.
Why not?
Because you can't
You're
go
not
there.
allowed.
Who's stopping you?
The government, the military is patrolling the entire sea from around the entire disk. The entire sea is always controlled, always defended. You cannot get there. You'll be shot down. You'll be killed. You'll never come back.
Like, if they're that serious about hiding God, why don't they just shut down churches and just like outlaw all that shit? I don't understand.
Because that's
Andrew,
the fake God.
The wrong questions.
Church is the fake God. The real God, you can't find the truth. There's so many different religions and churches. Obviously, all of them must be not right. The real one is being hidden from you. He is sitting above the firmament looking down. Or she. Or a group. I don't know how many there are. It's been a while since we talked about flat Earth. Still fun.
I mean, with all the like wild shit that's going around in the world right now, it just seems ridiculous to even fucking mention flat Earth. Like, just.
Well, dude, it was hot. It was hot like 3 years ago. Like it died
with
hot topic.
It died with a buddy who tried to fucking launch himself into space.
Yeah.
All right.
To prove it.
Hey,
that was the last gasp of flat Earth.
R.I.P. Mad Mike. He died doing what he loved.
Hell yeah.
It is true, and no big deal. I hate to say I called it, but I called it. I called it like 2 years ago.
You and a bunch of people. Hey, you know what's a bad idea? Ejecting yourself from 0 to max speed with pressurized gas. It was using it was steam powered rocket, right?
Yeah.
So there was no like initial like takeoff. He just went 0 to max G's instantly. Probably passed out, couldn't hit the parachutes, and like it's gone.
Yeah, that's a.
Did you see?
He went out going the way he loved, what he loved doing. So
yeah,
I mean,
it's fine.
Did you guys see anything to do with Kanye's rally today?
I thought he dropped out of the race.
Yeah. No,
he had a little bit of a rally today and had a massive fucking meltdown.
Okay.
Hey, this is
great.
Anytime
so
Kanye
the next album dropping.
That's what I mean. Anytime Kanye goes on some type of rant or he does something in the media, it's always he's got some music coming out. It's genius.
I don't know, man. This is pretty disparaging. Like, there's pictures of him that look exactly like the sobbing Michael Jordan. Like, he does not. Like, he went through a whole gamut of emotions, and he's wearing like a bulletproof vest. It's not a good look.
Okay. All right.
Kanye West rips Harriet Tubman and goes on anti-abortion rant at first presidential rally. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's not good.
Oh,
Why is he going with the anti-abortion route? That seems a bad idea. In general, always a bad idea.
That's his personal belief, Feels like that'll appeal to his voter base. I don't know who his voter base exactly would be, but I don't know why he would. Kanye is a mystery.
Honestly, like outside of college, I think I bought the last album I bought of his was 808s and Heartbreaks. Not that I wasn't that. There was a couple songs on I really liked, but man, the College Dropout. God damn.
College Dropout and what was it? High school, college dropout, and graduation. Is that what the three?
Yeah.
His first three?
Yeah. Woo.
All right, we got our first caller on Cosmic Channels. Let's bring them in right now. Hello, Cosmic Channels.
Hey, what's up, boys?
Yo, who are we speaking with?
You can probably guess.
Is it Cody?
Cody.
You betcha.
Yeah, boy. Well, what's that? Is that 9 in a row? You called everyone?
Yeah, buddy.
Almost.
Pretty sure.
If not,
Iron Man.
You might have missed one, but either way, you hold the record. What's up, buddy? How's it going?
I think
I know I haven't called in on every episode, but I think there's like one I haven't called in on.
Hey man, it's all good. We appreciate the call. What do you got for us today?
Well, two things. Number one, do people actually believe this flat Earth crap?
Yes.
Dude, Yes.
Yeah.
We had two guys live in studio one time. Buddy had a face tattoo, had 2 teeth, and you could see the conviction in their eyes. And I was so scared of them. I was scared to even challenge them to be like, you guys are stupid.
Yeah, so you made me sit next to them.
Yeah, put Andrew right by him.
I was gonna get hepatitis.
They smelt even better than they looked.
It feels like there's more of a chance of the Earth being square than flat. That's just me, though, I guess.
It would make more sense mass-wise if it was a square.
Yeah.
Rather than flat.
Earth square.
Some type of cube. Yeah. Cube Earth.
Yeah.
Donut Earth.
Say like a
second of
flat
all-
square or like a cube?
Yeah.
No, like a cube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
a flat square.
Like a-
That's
like
flat
a-
Earth.
Yeah, it's like 3-dimensional.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
An actual cube. Yeah. That would make more sense
Yeah.
mass-wise. It'd probably be closer to a circle than a flat disc.
Right?
I saw
and
like how would
second of all,
would it be a hard edge or like a soft rounded edge?
Could be a slow round.
Go around?
Around all the way around like a sphere.
You guys are you're just missing
I would
the
say
fucking
round,
point
yeah.
here. Doesn't matter what the shape is. It matters that they're hiding God.
Someone's hiding God. I can't find him.
I've
Anyways,
seen a lot of people call for him and he's never showed up. He's hiding good.
never when it matters.
No.
books written about him and the guy doesn't even show.
Yeah.
It's all as part of his plan, though. All the death,
Right.
all the death and destruction is all part of the plan. Anyways, yeah.
Actually, I remember thinking back, you guys, I think it was you guys that talked about, somebody had mentioned about the Bible saying like he was like the biggest lie and that actually the devil was God and the God was devil.
Oh, the
That was really
reverse
interesting.
reverse God theory or
the
whatever
reverse
that's
God.
called.
Yeah. Satan
Yeah.
actually has tricked everyone. He like the real God, like the malevolent God, has been replaced. Satan has taken his place, and he's tricked everyone to believe in him, even though and that's why there's so much death and destruction, because that's actually the opposite plan, the reverse God theory. Yeah, we've briefly talked about it before, but kind of steered away from that one a little bit.
That I like that one. That was pretty cool. Anyway, the reason I was calling also, so I found a friend of mine steered me to another podcast as well, and I don't know if you guys have heard of it or not. It's done by a girl named Sarah Turney, and she talks about her sister who has been missing since 2001.
Oh shit!
And her dad is the prime suspect. Have you ever heard of that one?
What's it called? The podcast.
It's called Voices for Justice.
I have not, but sounds
cool.
Sounds interesting.
You should really check it out. It's actually a really good podcast. There's like 27 episodes. I'm already on like episode 10, and between you guys' episodes, and essentially she talks about all the evidence and stuff leading up to, the stuff leading up to her sister's disappearance. And then it has all the evidence that's pointing to her dad and like all the backstory and stuff like that. It's really, really interesting. It's actually, you guys might want to look into that one too.
I'll check it out. I'm always looking for new shows to look for, or listen to. So
pull it up right now. Got
I
it on
thought
my
maybe that
tab.
it'd be a good case file to do too.
all right, that's a good recommendation. We'll definitely take that one. So is it done like
That's all I got.
is it done like a serial style? Like they go through the timeline and like there's interviews and stuff, or?
Yeah, so like she has a bunch of like audio files and video files and stuff that she puts on the show as well, and she does like phone call interviews with her friends and with her sister's past friends, and she even has some recorded phone calls with her dad. She has like all the transcripts from the police and like everything. She's got like everything. She even like dives into like her dad's, like her family's past, like 1970s. Like her dad was a cop, and so was her uncle, I think. And like there's a bunch of other stuff. Like it dives deep. Like it's a massive rabbit hole.
Cool.
That sounds awesome.
Definitely check that one out.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Up my alley.
Cool, brother. Is that all you had for us today?
And also one more thing.
No, keep going. Yeah, go for it.
Sorry?
Keep going. Yeah, no worries.
I was just gonna say, Braden, I wanted to hear live your Owen Wilson impression. I haven't heard it in a while.
It's been a while.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
It's goddamn perfect.
Perfect.
Every time.
That's all I got.
Every time.
Sometimes I can throw out a "Oh no, no, no."
Not today.
It's more.
though.
Not today.
Not today.
Not today.
Awesome, man.
I
Hey,
actually hadn't done it in a while. I was like,
yeah, it's been a long time.
yeah. And whenever something amuses me, I'm outside. Oh wow! Oh wow! That's it.
Hey, anyways, thanks.
Honestly, I've kind of started using it around my friends too.
It's
captivating.
it's addicting to start doing. It's
All right, Cody, we're gonna let you go. See if anyone else is on the line, but we always appreciate you calling, man.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. Have a great night.
You too. Bye.
Fernando in our chats is saying that I don't see anyone drinking. I don't pay you guys not to drink.
I shook my can.
7%.
I shook my can at him.
And I've been day drinking all day. You know what it is? It's these new goddamn green screens. When I hold a beer, they disappear until it's right in front of my face. Gone. It's like a magic trick.
I have this new green screen, but it's not very clear. But it doesn't make my beer disappear. So I guess that's
see,
good.
mine's I'm also drinking a green beer, which matches. So
it's true. All right, we're gonna bring another caller in right as soon as I figure it out. Hello, Cosmic Channels.
No way.
You're in. Who we speaking with?
No.
Hey, how's it going, boys?
Good, man. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name's Bryce from Nashville, Tennessee.
From Nashville.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Nashville.
How's things down
Yes,
there?
sir. Man, it's weird.
A little weird. Just like everywhere else, a little
Real
bit weird.
Just about everybody. Yeah, everywhere.
What's
Really.
what's the concert situation? Is anyone playing music down there right now, or is it still on pause?
No, man, and that's what I do for a living. So that's my life, pretty much gone right now. It's weird.
You play live music?
Everything
That's your
I
gig?
want to do. Yeah, so I do like lights and video.
Oh, so you're part of the production crew.
Yeah, right. I'm a roadie.
Hey, yeah, right on, man.
Nice.
Yeah, it's that industry was the first to close and it'll be the last to open, unfortunately. Just the way she goes at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out what to do with my life at this point.
I feel your pain. We had a whole bunch of gigs lined up and she gone. Nothing you can do about it at the moment.
Man, I hate that. I hate that for you guys. I got a bunch of, musician friends and they're in the same boat and it's rough, dude. It's rough. Anyway, on a lighter note, how you guys been?
Yeah, things are up here maybe a little bit different than south of the border, but still business is still weird and not really going to the bars as much as we normally would and all that jazz. But other than that, the podcast is good. Still hanging out with our friends and having fun.
yeah, the BC didn't get hit as hard, and where I'm at, on the island we don't have any cases right now, so things are pretty good. Most stuff's kind of reopened to some capacity here, which is nice. No live music though.
Yeah, still. Yeah.
But
It's just not life without live music. I don't know.
It's true, man.
I agree 100%. But people are trying to do the live stream stuff and it's just not this. You don't get there's no energy in the live stream. The sound is usually garbage. It's not the same.
100%. Guys, I know this is completely probably not on topic at all, but I've been doing a whole lot of psychedelics because of the quarantine and the downtime.
Yep.
And the lack of things to do, right?
Of course.
And it got me to thinking. I had some really my worst trips that I ever had on any psychedelic that I've ever done was definitely like the synthetic marijuana stuff that was around probably back in like 2010. Back in that day.
I never tried
you guys were familiar at all?
No, I never tried the synthetic stuff. I never. But I have.
It was very prevalent in the States. I don't know. Like you could buy it at like a gas station down the street.
Okay.
It was everywhere.
And it was just like a pill form?
It was very cheap. Sorry, what?
Was it like a pill form, or how'd you take it?
No, it was like a sprayed herb with whatever chemical they had concocted out in China.
Oh, so you sprayed it on your tongue?
Cannabis.
Like sprayed?
No, I'm from Tennessee. Like, yeah, I'm from Nashville, but like even there where I'm from, it was like a big prevalent thing. And the more I smoked of this stuff, it became more of like a psychedelic experience than it did like just smoking weed. At first, it was fine. It was just like smoking a joint, you know. It was great, which was like the big hook on it in the first place, right?
Right.
It was just like smoking weed, but it was cheaper, and you could get from the gas station down the street. But I remember one time in particular, which is like my only real paranormal experience that I can think of, was after smoking this synthetic marijuana that they call spice. But I remember, man, no, I straight up, I thought I was seeing ghosts. I smoked like a joint of this stuff and went back to my house. I was still living with my parents at the time. I was probably 17, 18. And I like pull into the parking lot. I get out of my car, and it just, everything goes dark. I can't see my feet. It's so dark. It's like pitch black. And it feels like there's things running by my feet. Like almost like a fleet of mice are running by my feet, right? And I can start to hear like the squeaks and the scratches of their feet and whatnot. It was terrifying overall. I won't highlight the whole experience, but overall just terrifying, and the closest thing that I can imagine to what hell is like. Oh, and I would just like to see you guys go more into depth of like an episode of psychedelics and how that relates to the paranormal.
I mean, it's hard.
Yeah,
that's hard to say because, I mean, I've had psychedelic trips where you definitely have, you know, I don't want to say a religious experience, but definitely like, you know, opening your consciousness to like some very strange concepts. But I've also seen Zell on Salvia thinking he's part of The Simpsons. So
okay.
It's hard to say.
Yeah, I mean, Salvia is a whole different thing too. Like DMT and Salvia are like a tier above.
Well,
I would even say it, but like I just think it's interesting how that opens our mind that whatever is beyond our, you know, normal comprehensions of reality.
Yeah, man. Well, we've like so many people who do like high levels of hallucinogens end up, a lot of people see like the same stuff. People see like entities, and people see like,
right.
So many people see the same thing that you're like, okay, well, is it just now your mind's just overreacting and you're like making stuff up? But why does everyone see the same thing? Is it because humans are just wired similar? So when people do high amounts of psychedelics, they all kind of see the same thing? Or is it because we only
tapping into the Akashic records, brother?
Yeah, man. Because when you do it, sometimes you do, I'm not going to say you do too much, but you do an amount where your whole, like it dissolves your entire ego. Your entire ego is gone. You don't even feel like you're, like in the moment, you don't feel human. Like you feel like you're part of whatever you're doing. You know, like if you're in the park, or you're climbing a mountain, or like you're sitting on a bench, you don't feel like it's if you've never done a high level dose of like, well, my favorite is mushrooms, like psilocybin. It seems to be the most natural and the least. I've never had a bad experience on it. For me, it seems the most natural, I guess. But sometimes when you do it, you're like, you don't feel anything like your normal self. But then as soon as it wears off, you're left with like a lasting, like ego dissolving impression. So I don't know. It's super crazy.
It's super weird, man. And yeah. I like all that you just said, and I'd like to hear more about what you have to say about it, and really just the rest of you guys, like Dan in particular. I just think you're a really smart guy. The rest of you guys are brilliant too, of course. But Dan, I just think you're a really smart guy.
Don't lie to us.
Yeah, don't lie to us. Don't you fucking lie to us.
Seriously, I love you guys a lot, and I listen to you all the time, and it's just piqued my interest what your thoughts were on the subject.
Yeah, man, you're not the first person to ask us to dive more into that, but not actually. I don't think Dan. Well, I know Andrew for sure has not. I don't think Dan has really ventured down that rabbit hole either. So,
no, I don't really have any experience with with chemical, altering experiences. That's not my not my forte.
Well, it is a weird thing because
I've read literature about it and things like that, and the terms of
my book
expansion of
says
consciousness.
these trips aren't fun.
Don't do it.
But see, I appreciate your perspective from that
standpoint
too.
Do
as
drugs.
your brain, someone who's never done it.
What happens to your brain physically? When you do, participate in these things. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm not saying they're 100% good. It's just it's just kind of they're there, and people have done them, and there have been trials so far. I know psilocybin is now being counted as one of the candidates to treat PTSD.
Depression.
Multiple studies have shown the beneficial qualities of it. Whether it's kind of increasing your empathy once you get out, it's kind of whatever, breaking that kind of, whether you want to call it mental conditioning or whatever.
It just makes you realize what a piece of shit you are. Honestly, and then you're just like, I can't be a piece of shit. I got to be better.
Be a better person.
I got to be better. I'm a piece of shit.
Do better. For sure.
I mean, it could be that.
Better.
Yeah, it's like Zell's saying, it is partly like dissolving your ego, where it's just breaking you out of that, experiencing something that you haven't experienced before. For me, I've had, transformative experiences. I can say myself, just, learning for me is that, that's what I do. I've read plenty, reading or studying or learning something new for me is when you learn about your place in the universe, and you can comprehend that. I've never felt I've never felt the need to kind of go.
Well, you don't have to. A lot of people can experience the same results of doing a psychedelic in deep meditation, or in one of those chambers, sensory deprivation.
Dude, I felt it. I felt it doing the sensory deprivation chambers.
You can feel the same thing.
Left my body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need drugs. You can still experience the same thing.
And
so in other words, stay in school, don't do drugs.
With those sensory deprivation chambers, it's weird because when we did them together, and then Dan said you turn the music back on, or you turn the blue light on. I can't remember what you did something. But I found that very interesting because I let my mind just disappear from my body. It just slipped out, gone. So when you were like, oh, it made sense to me that you would because normally if I hadn't done drugs, I'd be like, you would try to stay conscious. It was weird, but I found it very interesting that you turned a light on or did something else to keep yourself alert. I was like, that is a very
just it. If you're trying to put yourself into a relaxed state, that's how I do it. I listening to the music, and that droning or whatever, just peaceful kind of music kind of puts me into a relaxed state, where it's if I'm just laying there in the thing, it's I'm very aware of my own body. I just kind of sit there and I'm how the water's moving, if I'm touching the side of the thing, what the air smells like. I'm trying to process all that individually, and it's I like to concentrate on that stuff. That's
the
me.
only thing that would bring me back is every now and then I could hear my stomach go do a little that was it.
And that's why I have a lot of interest in this kind. I've been doing a lot of research in microdosing, and not necessarily for PTSD, but for me, I struggle with, as I'm sure 90% of the people who listen and watch these things, I struggle with ADD really badly. I can't shut my brain off ever. This entire time we've been sitting here, I've been doing nothing but drawing pictures because I can't fucking, you know what I mean? I have to do something. I can't, you know what I mean? So, and for me, the fact that I could sit down and only focus on my being and myself would be the most amazing thing in the world.
We'll have,
Like that's not even an option for me.
I'm gonna take you on a journey one day, Andrew. We're gonna have a good time. But
I'm gonna try, dude. If I could kill my ego and
I'll help
kind of
you.
just fucking dull this ADD life that I live, I'd be pretty
Oh,
fucking
you
stoked.
can.
oh yeah,
Oh, you can.
for sure.
Dude, I'm on board, man. I would love it.
You know what though?
No,
I
seriously,
will say
like-
this. I'll be devil's advocate. I don't know if you can. This is what I'm saying is everyone has different trips.
It's true.
So these guys telling you you're 100% going to take this, you're going to feel good. There's a chance that my brain isn't an overactive brain. It's doing the bare minimum to get by.
It's barely
So-
alive.
So like what I know what to expect from my lazy brain when I'm on, mushrooms. But for someone like you who has a crazy, I don't even relate to that. So
it scares
for
me.
For me to tell you that like, yeah, you could do this because you could be like me. I'm like, nah, I don't know. I don't know what it does to you.
Well, the thing that worries me
But
is I
maybe
think
it does. Maybe it's good. But I'm like, there's a part of me that goes like, man, every now and then I've gone down a dark path on a trip, and I'm like, if my brain was a scatterbrain and like all over the place, I could see definitely some anxiety. Not to put that out there, but I'm saying it's
already out there. That's what I'm
wanna
worried
put
It
about.
happens.
That's what scares me
Okay.
from
I
doing
just
it.
think
'Cause
that's the dosage thing.
as soon as
though.
I take it, I'm gonna be thinking about having a bad trip. I'm gonna be
You
like, fuck,
gotta
I hope I don't
find
have a
your
bad
dose,
trip. And then
Brady.
I'm probably
You
gonna.
gotta
have one.
see the problem is you got to do it with people. If you did it with like when we used to do it, it was always a thing where it was
Yeah.
like a huge group of people. It was like an event, and
No,
we just
that's awful. Always bad.
Yeah.
Don't do that. No, Braden, you gotta get with like 3 of your best friends and just
I've done that too.
take
I've
like
done that, but I'm saying to
3.5 grand.
introduce someone to it, where it's like where you're in a big group of people, then it's harder to. There's so much stuff going on that it's hard to get lost. But yeah, I've done 3-man journeys, hiked to Mordor through the rain in the volcano,
Okay.
made it back.
Hell yeah.
I hate to cut in here, boys, but
yeah.
that's see what you did. You gave us a great topic because we could spend the rest of Cosmic Channels talking about it. But we're gonna have to move on to the next caller. But we're definitely gonna put that on the
course.
list because a lot of people actually have asked about that. So, I mean, I
Hell
think
yes. I will listen.
I think we could at least pull a couple hours out of that topic, no problem.
At least a few. At least 2. At least those 2.
Hey man, thanks. We appreciate the call.
All right, guys. You guys.
Okay,
Cheers.
bye. That was a good one. See what happened? We got in a ramble there. Fucking 12 minutes later.
It's interesting. I'd like to do that topic. That'd be a good Cosmic Channels topic. Is like call in, tell us about your
experience.
life-altering experiences while on psychedelics.
Yep.
Good or bad. Tell us the dark too. Like,
Yep. There's no. It's definitely not all rainbows and puppy dogs. Sometimes when you venture down that rabbit hole.
no.
So, anyways, we got another caller here. Let's bring him in. Hello, Cosmic Channels.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Donnie. I'm calling from Houston.
From where?
Houston,
Houston?
Texas.
Houston. Yeah.
Houston, Texas, or Houston, British Columbia?
Texas.
Whoa. You guys have a Houston?
Yeah, we do. It's funny.
That's pretty badass. I didn't even know that.
It's a tiny little
but I'm from
town,
the Texas one.
tiny little BC town, northern BC town. But yeah, most 99% people.
That's
would
pretty
be.
cool.
And the reason I know that is because someone was playing hockey with me one time. They're like, "I'm from Houston." I was like, "What the fuck are you doing way up here?" He's like, "I'm from Houston, BC." I was like, "I had no idea." Anyways,
That's
man,
awesome.
how's things down there, man? What's going on?
It's pretty grim, but you know what? It's fine. We're doing it. We're making it.
We're all still alive.
We're living
so
the dream.
all still alive, still doing it.
Yeah.
Buddy, it is grim in Houston having Bill O'Brien as a head coach. I feel for you guys. Getting rid of DeAndre Hopkins for a bag of fucking pucks and a kicking tee. Jesus.
No,
Anyway.
it's bad. Like I heard the other day that they're bringing in refrigerated trucks and body bags
Oh,
because
it's
we
that
have
bad?
so many cases. It's not good. Yeah, no, it's like, yeah, I'm pretty much just hunkering down. But hey, I have something about the whole God, fake God, real God
Cheers.
sort of thing going
Let's hear
on.
it.
All right, boys. So here's my theory. All right. I think, and it's not really my theory because I'm kind of stealing it, but I think that okay, so we've gone through so many different cataclysms, right? Like as a species.
Yeah.
That, well, hold on. First off, let me just kind of take it back for a second. So we've, as far as the historians say, right, like people have been on the planet for, I don't know, 100, 200, 300,000 years, right? But dinosaurs or whatever, right, whatever was before us has been around for hundreds of millions of years, right? So it's just kind of weird that like we would think we're the pinnacle of like civilization, and we've been around such a small fraction of the time.
Yep.
I mean, and then when you look at all the ancient texts, right, they're like feathered serpents that taught them how to do agriculture and how to do yada yada. So it just kind of makes sense to me that there was like a whole nother civilization of like feathered serpents who basically like taught us shit. And then Catholicism, which, I mean, if anybody's Catholic, I'm not hating on you, do your thing. I'm just saying, I think that like, cause like, it kind of painted like the serpent as like the evil one, right? Kind of thing. And I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know. Is it evil? I mean, if quote unquote the serpent taught us how to do stuff, I mean, weren't serpents here like millions of years before us? Like, doesn't it kind of make sense that, I don't know, something came before us and taught us how to do stuff?
Listen, I'll tell you this. You can take a group of kindergartens, 10 of them, play the game telephone, and it's fucked up. Now you talk about the whole of human history throughout time. Like whatever message were trying to let us know, and in the context has been misinterpreted, and then that's been misinterpreted, and then the misinterpretation has been misinterpreted. I'm sure like whatever the information that was tried to be passed along is
it's fucked.
Not exactly what was passed along.
Yeah, I mean
100%. I agree.
Feathered serpent, all that stuff, that like Quetzalcoatl and like this, you have like the Mesoamericans and like Egypt, and everyone talks about like the serpent, but a lot of people represent the serpent maybe as more of like a astrological thing. Like maybe it was like like people like talk about like, oh, like if you ever watched the movie Zeitgeist, and they talk about how the greatest story ever told is maybe just like religion is about, originally it was about watching the stars, and then they gave the stars names, and then those names were translated down into stories, and those stories became legend and myth. And then at some point now, because there's always 12 constellations, 12 apostles, like there's always like, so if you go with that, like Egypt, like Egyptians talked about stuff, the Sumerians talked about stuff in the same light, and then every religion post that always talks about stuff, and people always say like that. A lot of those are like, what's the term I'm looking for, Dan? Anthropomorphized or
anthropomorphic? Giving human qualities to inordinate.
Human qualities to the
objects.
stars, and the like, and so a lot of religion and like all that stuff can maybe stem from actually the stars.
But this is my question. But what are the odds that they would all do that, like separated from time and space? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, either they all swapped ideas, which means they had technology that was obviously better than what we think, or somebody just fucking was like, hey man, like a fucking feather, like a serpent came down or came out of the ground, or where it came from somewhere, and was like, hey man, this is how you do it. I mean, because didn't our civilization kind of pop out of nowhere?
As if you go with like the timeline of creatures on this planet, humans like seem to pop out of nowhere, and like our brain size doubled so quick, and all of a sudden we were super smart and had civilizations and technology. Yeah, I think a lot of people always wonder like, well, why did our brain size double so fast? We talked about this with Bruce Fenton,
psychedelics.
Like, yeah, well, a lot of people say maybe it was psychedelics, and maybe like the expanding of a simple mind, like an ancient, like pre-human doing some like had cattle, and the cattle, these mushrooms grew in the cattle dung, and then they would eat those mushrooms maybe the first time by accident, and then slowly over generations they would do more and more, and it gave rise to like more of a give rise to culture. And that's the Terence McKenna theory of the stoned ape. Like we started eating mushrooms, and mushrooms is what made us smart, pretty much. Or
I don't know, man.
Or you could say the feather. Some people say, like, if you listen to Corey Goode and the boys, they say the blue avians, they're feathered.
Yeah.
and they are an extraterrestrial species, and they're actually the ones who instilled, like there was actually a different, a different being from a different world or galaxy or whatever you want to say, actually came down and did a little DNA splice on the old humanity.
Well, dude, all I know is I saw y'all's Aguadilla.
Yep.
Aguadilla.
Aguadilla.
Aguadilla, man, and I saw it, and they were splicing that water pretty smooth, man. So, or whatever that was. So I don't know. It just seems weird, man. Like it just seems like there's something else going on. Like I feel like maybe the ancients, because like I don't know, man. Like clearly the megaliths show that like there was a technology that like we couldn't reproduce today. Like I think that's probably inarguable if you listen to if you listen to Graham Hancock and all that, it's like it's probably we couldn't do that like even right now. So like the fact that it exists, it's almost like a testament to what we could do perhaps, but also what did those? I mean, dude, like imagine like even today we have cargo cults, right? Like even today we have like civilizations that are like fucking all up in the woods, and we fly planes, we drop ship them food, and they're like, oh my God, and they worship us like we're gods, and like we're totally not gods. We don't have our shit together even 1%, right? But they worship us for some reason. So it's crazy. So imagine if the whole planet was like that. Like, wouldn't we all have these like religious tales of gods that came down and brought us bread or whatever? I mean, I don't know, man. It just seems
there's still
like
uncontacted tribes in like the Amazon, and I can't imagine what those guys think when they see a helicopter or a jet flying overhead, or a plane that comes by, right? And we've done our best to try to not contact them. As that still boggles my mind that there's humans that just are so far behind, and we're just like, just leave them. Everyone leave them alone. Like, leave them how they are. Don't bring them to how we are living. Just leave it.
Well, what's that one tribe in the South Pacific that kills anyone who tries to come aboard? Or like
dude that rolled up with the Bible got speared to death.
Yeah, speared and arrowed to death. Yeah, there's a tribe. I don't know.
What?
Dan, do you know what that tribe is?
I think it's in the Indian Ocean.
Indian Ocean?
And it's called, I can't remember off the top of my head. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called either, but there's a tribe, and anyone
there's a special, like it has a special diplomatic status where it's like, don't touch this island, don't go to this island.
Because anyone who's tried to go there, they've killed like multiple people who've tried to land it. Like, hey, the world is much different than you think. They're like, fuck you, arrows, boom, dead.
The guy didn't even get have you heard the good news out?
Boom, spear to the neck, boom, dead.
Anyways, it's called North Sentinel, and it's in it's a forbidden island in the Andaman Sea, which is near Thailand.
West of Thailand.
We have those exact same people living in our culture right now.
100%. Dude. That's what I'm saying.
The world's a little changed, man. Let's do it. They're like, no, fuck you.
They're like, dude, you could travel the stars. We're like, no, man, we want, fucking oil. Like, I'll kill you for oil. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know.
Anyways, that's another great call, man. But we're gonna have to, we gotta keep moving. We're going on tangents.
Sweet.
We appreciate the call though. That was a good one. Man. That was awesome.
Thanks, brother.
Okay, we'll talk to you again. Bye. Some good theories popping through tonight, getting us on some rants. It's got Braden on the pen.
Yeah.
There we go. I've actually been I'm taking a 10-day break right now from the old ganja.
Oh shit.
I get to a point where like anyone who's a lifelong stoner like myself gets to a point where you don't really get stoned anymore, and it's not so much fun. So you gotta take a little break.
Tolerance just gets way too high. Eh?
Well, you can get stoned, but yeah, you gotta smoke like bong rip after bong.
Maybe you just need to start doing stronger drugs, man.
Yeah.
What do you got in mind? You got something for me?
You gotta step through what might be known as a gateway.
Funny, you chase the dragon. You know what I mean? You're gonna get stoned. Doesn't matter how long you've been doing it.
Nothing goes up my nose and nothing goes in my veins. That's my rule.
What about your butt?
Hey, you can smoke it.
My butt? I've never thought about the butt.
Yeah.
Gotta hoop.
Braden makes a good point.
I've never thought about the butt. To be honest,
you didn't say it's off the table.
I didn't say it's off the table because it's not something I've thought about before. But
it should be good enough.
It's called hooping, man. Gotta get into it.
Yeah, it's like butt.
Aztecs.
What do you butt chug one beer and you're hammered, right? Isn't that how it works?
Oh yeah. Well, buddy, they hoop a lot more than just fucking beer.
Do you think it's the same with mushrooms? If you hoop mushrooms,
Probably.
I literally I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, it's a way more vascular area, right? Like
and because it bypasses, doesn't it bypass the liver or something when it goes?
Yeah, it doesn't get filtered.
I'm not doing it, but
I'm not fucking doing it.
Buddy, you've been hooping stuff for a while. Don't even lie.
I just noticed my nose is a little burnt from golfing today. See that?
Yeah,
See a little redness
yeah.
there?
Wow.
Fucked
That's
up.
what happens when vampires
Your
step outside.
SPF 3000.
I'm surprised my nose didn't fall off actually today.
Me
It's
too.
surprised
hot.
you're still not like burnt to a crisp.
All right, we got a number from 204. Where's that area code from? Let's bring them in. Wait, I always forget how to do it. Hello, Cosmic Channels.
How's it going, boys?
Good. What's your name? Where you calling from?
It's Tyler from Smithers. I called you guys last week.
Oh,
about
yeah,
some
man.
lights in the sky. So,
Yeah, man. How's it going?
oh, it's going good. Had a golf tournament this weekend, so I soaked in beer and fried in the sun for 2 days.
That's what happens when you play
Nice.
golf like that.
Right on.
That's how you're supposed to play
Yeah.
golf.
Oh, exactly. So I just called in quick because I got one bad mushroom trip. My first one, actually. Have you guys ever done mushrooms just in the worst setting possible?
I've never had a bad trip personally, but I know Braden might have had one or two.
I've had a couple bad ones, but it was never like in a bad situation beforehand. I would always, when I did them, I always tried to like even adjust my day accordingly, knowing that I'm going to
Yeah,
do them.
for
and
sure.
I've had some turn on me. But I couldn't imagine, man. Couldn't imagine doing them in a bad setting and having a bad trip.
Oh, well, I have a story for you then, Braden.
Let's hear it.
So, yeah, grade 10, brand new high school, probably just a month in, so I'm still meeting everybody. My parents go away, so I'm like, yeah, big party. Everybody's invited. Whole school's coming over. And I decide that that's the perfect time for me to do mushrooms for the first time by myself. No one else at the party at my house had any.
Oh, and you need a
So I
guide,
popped
man.
a quarter. Oh, I know. And like, I had no idea what to expect. Nobody told me how I was going to feel. The guy who gave it to me just left after he gave it to me. So yeah, I
Wait,
ended up doing
one
these
second.
mushrooms, and
Did
it
you
was
say you
just
popped
the
a
worst
quarter?
time.
A quarter of mushrooms?
Yes. 7 grams of mushrooms the
That's
first time.
way too
That's a
much for
lot.
your first time.
Yeah.
So I
That's
can
way-
anticipate where this story is about to go.
Yeah, well, basically it got to a point where I'm just like in the basement with a hard hat on, trying to remember how to breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, just like that first time and having 100 people in my house, it was just the absolute worst thing that could have been. So I had to call my brother, actually, who's like 10 years older than me. He came down. The poor guy had to kick out like 100 high school kids from my house while I was freaking out.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like that's a lot of mushrooms for your first time. A lot.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And like it really helps to have one other person sharing the experience with you too, where you're like both going, do you feel it or something?
Yeah.
When it's just you, everybody's like sticking their hands in your face and trying to trip you out and
Oh,
everything.
dude, that's how I find like when I'm doing it. That's like my eyes are glued to my fingers, and as soon as my fingers start looking like dancing spaghetti, I'm like, they're working.
It's go time.
It's go
Yeah.
time.
When your eyes move around your face in the mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah, never look in the mirror. That's one of my
Yeah.
rules. Don't look in the mirror.
Yeah, you'll be gone for like an hour at least.
Yeah, you lose yourself in your own black hole that is your eye.
Yeah.
And so I guess with a positive drug story, I've done Peruvian ayahuasca. My buddy got it off the internet one time, and it was hands down the most amazing experience of my life.
Did you
Hear about it.
How sick did you get?
What's that?
Most people get pretty sick when they do ayahuasca. Do you get
Yeah,
sick
don't you
or?
puke your guts out?
Yeah, so we cooked it up, and it basically looked like just a giant pot of mud, and we drank 2 full bowls of it. And about 40 minutes later, I puked my guts out like at least 15 times in a row.
Yep.
And then I remember on the last puke, I just looked up and everything started kind of moving and swirling into a circle. And then, yeah, I was in and out. Like I could tell that I was myself and I was in my basement, but there was just another part of me that was just not there. I wasn't in my body. I was like part of the entire cosmos, really. It was really indescribable how it felt.
How long did it last? I've always been curious because I've never done DMT and definitely not ayahuasca. Does it last a long time or is it?
Yeah, so the ayahuasca, it's the way you cook it, like traditionally, like they do in the jungle, it's supposed to last longer. So it's 4 to 6 hours. If you do like the chemical DMT, it's a much shorter trip.
Yeah, usually it's like 10, 20 minutes kind of thing if you're smoking DMT.
Yeah, but I'll tell you the weirdest part about it, because while we were cooking it on the stove, I was looking up like, a bunch of stuff on the internet. And one thing was saying that you need to like look at it while it's cooking and send positive energy and ask it to give you the experience that you want to have. And my friend that was doing it with me, he's not really into anything spiritual or metaphysical, so he was kind of like,
Listen,
nah, I'm not
I would
doing
say
that.
this. I'm the first guy to be like, I don't believe any of that shit, and then in my head be like, please give me happy times. instantly.
Yeah.
So I don't believe your friend at all, unless he had a bad time. I believe he was like, yeah, I don't believe that, and then he was doing that just in case, sending those positive vibes.
Well, it actually didn't affect him whatsoever. He had no visuals. He got sick. He puked it up, but other than that, he didn't feel like even he had taken mushrooms. There was no visuals for him. He felt a little funny, but for me, it was just the hands down most amazing thing in my life. So there might have been something to that little prayer you say to the bubbling goo.
Hey, it doesn't. If anything, it doesn't hurt to say a little prayer when you're doing it. Why not? What's it gonna hurt you?
For sure.
Hey man, we appreciate.
Yeah, that's about all I got for you.
Hey, we appreciate the stories, man. We can relate. Except I've never done 7.5 grams of mushrooms by myself ever in my life, especially not my first time. So good on you.
Well, next time, eh?
There's always another time. Hey man.
All right, boys.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Bye.
Cheers, man.
That's a lot of mushrooms in one trip. Tell you what, that's a lot. Never over 5. Never over 5.
Tell you what.
I had a bad one, and we did 8.
That's yes. You know what I mean. After 5, you're flirting with
I was
danger.
like 18.
Yeah, flirting with danger after 5 grams. Like, don't do it.
It flipped on me.
Yeah. Start yourself with 1.5 grams and work your way up. You heard it from me. I'm not condoning illegal activities, but if you're gonna venture on your own,
no, don't do it.
Don't do drugs. Stay in school.
Drugs are bad. Drugs are bad. All right. Well, I think this might be our
drugs.
Not a dummy.
Might be our last call tonight. We'll see how it goes here. Hello, Cosmic Channels.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is Chris from Denver. I spoke to y'all not too long ago. I work at DIA.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we remember.
It was that one. Yeah, when y'all did the pyramids thing.
Right.
So I was just gonna give y'all another quick
I had actually mentioned you the other
story.
Day. We were talking, and I was like, I wonder if that guy's still alive. We didn't try to take pictures out of there.
I'm here. I'm actually I'm working on getting some stuff for y'all, but I was actually calling y'all in light of some of the psychedelic stories.
Sure, let's hear
that I've been hearing. I wanted to give one of my own. So do any of y'all have much experience with LSD?
I have my little bit of share, yes.
All right, so one of the worst times I ever had on it, it was one of those situations where me and my buddy got it and we were like, fuck it, it's a Friday night, we don't have anything else to do. So we take like 2 tabs, 2 or 3 I think it was, and we were just like, oh yeah, whatever, because we took it all the time and stuff, so it's like, all right, whatever. We're sitting there, we're watching the NBA finals with the Golden State, and it got to a point where I'm sitting here watching the TV and I can't differentiate if I'm watching a basketball game or some alien documentary. Because for some godforsaken reason, bro, Steph Curry looked like an extraterrestrial, and I just couldn't get past it, and I couldn't understand anything anybody was saying.
Well, he plays like one.
So we're going through that.
Draymond Green looks like an alien.
Steph, the whole experience was just aliens, bro. I to this day, I don't know if I was watching a basketball game, and I couldn't read. I couldn't do nothing. So we're sitting there and we're like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's go walk around. Let's go outside, do something. So I go to the bathroom and I start, getting ready to go out, and I start washing my hands, and I got soap all over them, and I'm losing myself in the mirror like y'all were talking about, that little black hole you get.
Yep.
Oh man, I got sucked all the way into that thing. And And I'm sitting there and I look down and I realize I have the hot water running. There's no cold water. And in my infinite drugged out wisdom, the first thing I thought was, oh my God, I just melted my hands off. Because the way the soap looked, it looked like the skin was coming off my hands and that my hands were going down the drain. I start screaming for my buddy to come in. He comes walking in the bedroom like, yo, are you okay? What's going on? I'm just like, bro, my hands are gone. What are we going to do? And he's like, dude, your hands are right there.
Yeah.
And it was just, dude, it was a nightmare. And then we go out and we got convinced that we were being followed by the stars in the sky.
Yeah, that sounds
it turned into
Yeah.
What you said you did 3
You're
doses.
feeling
Do you remember, did you know how many because like usually it's like in micrograms how many like the actual drug?
Yeah.
So did
usually out here you get them in like 100 to 200 microgram doses, but the dude I was buying it from, he had always it was always 100 micrograms and it was always consistent.
Right.
But this time we bit off way more than we could chew. We were like, oh, we can handle 2. It's no big deal. And I'm pretty convinced that those were like 200 to 300 micrograms a tab, because I've never had an experience like that again. And I am scared to even go near the consecutive letters LSD.
See, same thing for me, as I never go past 200. So usually one tab for me is 200.
I can't do it anymore. I can't go past like 1, because if I have another experience like that,
yeah, that's
even away.
That's the thing about LSD is the potency can vary so drastically between 1 tab that you could be used to doing 1 tab of 50, and then someone gives you 1 tab of 300, and it feels like you're not even in this dimension anymore. And sometimes.
Yeah.
You'd never really come back if you did. Say you usually do like 2 100-gram tabs, and then you did 2, because sometimes you get these crazy people who do like 600 microgram tabs, and they're like, yeah, man, just take 2 doses.
Yeah.
And they did 1200, and then you never come back.
That same friend. Yeah, the same friend that I was with the night that I melted my hands off, he ate 15 tabs one night because he got his hands on a sheet.
A
sheet of 100 tabs. He ate 15 one night, and I didn't hear from him for like 2 days.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, it can.
And it's such a weird. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, you gotta, like, doing psychedelics and stuff. You have to be mindful. You can't gotta be mindful of what you're doing.
Yeah, you've got to be extremely careful.
Yeah, you can't
the experience can vary drastically.
Because some people, like, especially like back in the 60s when it was really big. Like when it first started, I guess I should say, people would start with 50, and then they'd work themselves up to 1,000 or 1,200 micrograms. But then after you do it so many times, just like any other drug, you become used to it, and it doesn't affect you as much. But if you start with 1,000 micrograms of fucking LSD, like your brain might never quite recover. It's that profound.
Oh yeah, he's always been a little bit of a space case. He's one of my best friends, though, but he's always been a little bit out there. He's always made me wonder a little bit, because I've seen him lose his shit on 2 tabs, and then this dude will turn around and eat 15 and act like nothing's wrong.
Yeah,
we used to have a buddy like that.
Yeah, who's that, Braden?
Yeah,
you're talking about?
Dude,
Lewis.
when I was in the...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we had a buddy
when
like
I was
that.
in the Navy, I had a friend like that. We'd be underway, and we'd be done with flight ops, and I'd go talk to him, and he'd be on the flight deck just tripping balls on like 2 or 3 tabs of acid in the middle of the night. Just hanging out, watching the stars, having the time of his life.
Yep. Yeah, it can if you're used to it, I mean, it can just feel like another drug, like you just like took a puff of weed, like 1 tab of acid. And if you've never done it before, it can feel like you went to space and never come back. So
you got to commit a whole day to it. If it's a new thing, you've got to plan everything around it for like the next week.
Yeah, you can't just do something and then like, I'll be fine in a few hours. No, that's it. Your day is committed.
Yeah, the first time I ever did shrooms, I had that anxiety because my buddy, he's into, like, he does all that frog medicine and the ayahuasca and everything like that. And we did shrooms, and I was so nervous. I was like, bro, I can't ride off a whole 9-10 hours. I got stuff to do. but we only ate like a gram. We microdosed and then just went downtown.
Microdosing is a good way to start. Anyways, man, we're gonna maybe take one more call. Yeah. I think we might be done, or might take one more call here, but we appreciate the stories.
Oh yeah, y'all have a good one, man. Yeah, I appreciate y'all having us on.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, we're gonna doing more of these, so stay tuned.
Oh yeah. Y'all have a good one.
Okay. Bye bye.
Cheers.
Yeah. Don't. If you're gonna experiment, we do not condone any illegal activities, but if you're gonna do it on your own terms, make sure you start slowly.
Hey, Dan, how much of a fucking square do you feel like?
Who, me? I don't feel like a square. I mean, it's people speaking to their experiences, and that's fine. I have different kind of experiences, but this is
Well, I feel like a square.
It's interesting to hear some of the stuff, and I'm like, it's cool, neat.
Someone said in the chat, salvia makes LSD look like a little bitch, and I can concur. Salvia can make LSD look like a little bitch.
The Beatles never wrote a song about salvia.
Let me tell you something. Zell did it and was high for maybe 20 seconds, and the pure fear in his eyes scared me that I haven't done it to this day.
Why would you like that?
I didn't even do it. I didn't even do it after.
That was
because
my
I was
first drug.
Him and being like, "You're okay, man." Just like I was trying, and the pure fear in his eyes, looking at me, grabbing me, and going, "Is this real? Is this real?"
I felt like
holy shit.
I felt like that guy. What's that Rick and Morty episode on the circular time machine where they're fucking where's the old man?
Oh, Roy? Taking Roy off the grid?
No. It's in the new season. Is this real? Is anything? I need tickets. Give me tickets. And he splits and starts spinning.
Oh, and he's at Blitz and shits or whatever.
No, in the new season, they're on the time machine, the circular train time machine or whatever, the anthology machine. Anyways,
and then it cues into him playing a game at Blitz and shits or whatever the fuck they call it.
Yeah, exactly. So when my very first, let's end Cosmic Channels with this story because we've gone an hour. So I didn't start smoking weed till I was 19. So not that far after I started smoking weed, we decided, because this is back when salvia, you could just buy salvia at Mary Jane's headquarters. You just go in there, buy a pack of dried salvia, and you put it in the bong and you take a rip of salvia. So we were all doing it, and I didn't know how much it takes. So we packed it in there, and I took this giant rip. I'd never done any hallucinogen, like no psychedelics at all in my life before this. Took this huge rip, and as soon as I took it, breathed it out. Within 3 seconds, the world went claymation, and I like fell on the ground, and I felt like I was pinned on the ground, but because someone was stepping on my hood, and I couldn't get up because
they weren't stepping on his hood. Mr. Conspiracy had his single finger on his hood.
Someone touched my hood.
What was keeping him down.
So I was on the ground with my hood on the ground, and so they were pinning me with one finger on my hood, so I felt like I couldn't get up. I was in claymation. I left my body. I left it. My soul rose out of my body. I turned around. I'm looking at my body on the ground with all my friends around me. Everything
just turtling on the ground.
I'm just on the ground turtling. My arms are up like, ah! And I looking at myself, and then my spirit body floating above myself looks back down at everyone who is now in claymation world. Everyone looks like a piece of clay. And I'm floating. I'm out of body. I'm floating around my friends. I see my body. I'm like, am I dead? What's going on here? Everything's claymation. What the fuck? Is this even real anymore? And then slowly, this trip lasted minutes at the most. And then all of a sudden, my spirit body turned around, and I'm looking at the stars, and my spirit body floats back down. Whoa, floats back down to my body, joins my body again. And then I get up. I'm like, what the fuck? What happened? Is this real? Is this even real? Is this fucking real anymore?
You looked at me with like sheer terror, and you were like, you need to tell me if this is real. Is this real right now? And I'm like, yeah, I think so. Yeah, you're back. I think it's over. Oh, dude, it scared me. It scared me.
At the same time, though,
I was like, I'm not doing it.
Because we packed the bowl like a huge bowl. So I got instantly like max level stoned, but also did salvia. So when the salvia came down, I was already ripped as hell. And I did not have a high tolerance at all at this time. It took me like hours to come back to normal. I've never done salvia again. I've done many other psychedelics, but I never did salvia again. I'd be down for another try, but it was crazy.
Dude, honestly, it scared me. legit scared me. I was like, is my friend ever coming back? I don't think he's coming back. Like there was some primal fear in your eyes, and they were huge.
Well, anyway, so don't start with salvia. Work your way up. That's my if you're going with that direction. I think that's it for Cosmic Channels this week. Anybody else? Anything to say?
See you later.
The Cosmic
Big gulps, eh?
Well, see you later.
Those Cosmic Channels are now closed. Oh shit, we need music. Let's end this with a little music.